Alright, so in this video I'm going to be painting this 160-gallon tank. I'm going to start by masking off the bulkheads. The way that I do it is like I start on the bottom and then just wrap it around. Take this piece right here. Wrap it around the bulkhead. So you're going to get a nice good paint on it without making a mess. I'm using a Valspar 2000. I'm gonna roll this tank because it's too hard to take it apart. And nothing special about this paint. It was just $16 at Lowe's, so it's gonna be the one that we're gonna use. I'm gonna just use one of these rollers. This is just from the 99-cent store. See how it goes. I'm gonna mask off the top as well. It's very hard to move back here. There's like 2.5 feet of space. Where did I put that tape? Give me 1 second. Alright, I got the tape, so I'm gonna tape the trim. I don't even think it's necessary to tape the trim, but just to show you guys how to tape the trim, do it real quick. Get a nice good line, do the top, and then also on the bottom is going to be a little bit more difficult, so I'm not going to do it. And then you just kind of this is a paint and primer. First coat is just to get some paint on there, and then the second coat is actually what's really important. You kind of just like smear it everywhere, trying not to go over what you went on already, because if you do, it's just gonna end up like that. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, there you go. Been wanting to paint this tank for a few weeks now, and I don't know, today supposed to be doing something else, but painting this tank is what I want to do. So for the most part, that's what it looks like. After this dries and I apply the second coat, it's gonna be pretty much done. Let me change the view. All right. So I can just hold my paint tray and this one. Applying it thick. I didn't put tape on the other side, on the trim. anymore. Thank God that moves. I would be totally messed up if it didn't. Now if you go over the paint again where it's still wet, it's just gonna show some of the glass. This one's a little bit of a slow process because you have to wait for the paint to actually dry before you put the other coat, or else it's just gonna be weird. But it's fairly easy. It's not messy. Most people don't have 2.5 feet of space behind their fish tank, so it might be a little bit more difficult. I'm just trying not to make a mess with this blue paint. But you know, different people like to use different paints. If you guys have a particular paint that you guys like to use, put it on the comments below. I know that Plasti Dip is a popular paint to use on the back of fish tanks. This one is my first time using this particular paint, and like I said, it was like $16 or $18 at Lowe's. That's why we got it, and they can make it to whatever color I wanted them to make it to, and that's why I ended up with this paint. And then now, let me see. This is what the first coat looks like. I'm gonna hit it with a second coat in a minute, and it's gonna look a lot better. Okay, this is gonna be the kind of like the second coat on the back. Second coat will really go on a lot better. Let me show you guys what I mean. So basically on the second coat, you can now really roll it on the glass, and you'll be able to get all the stuff like that. Just little taps. You can apply more after the second. You could probably do like 3, 4, 5 coats, however many coats you want to do. Basically, you're gonna look around the front of the tank, and you're gonna see if you're happy with it. But that's pretty much the second coat. I'm just gonna go down the line and finish painting this thing. Alright, so going down the line, let's get a little bit more on the side over here, all the way to the top. The thicker you could put it, the better. It's just going to take a little bit longer to dry. But when it does, you'll have to do less coats. And then now that the back is done, you can see what it looks like from back here. I don't know what that looks like yet in the front, but hopefully it'll look good. So it's actually getting there. It's getting a little bit better. I need for that to dry before I can paint it some more, like this part right here. That part, it's gonna be really nice. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm using a blower so that I can dry it a little bit faster and put my next coat of paint on. It's looking really good over here. When you bring it around to the other side, that's barely gonna need any paint. So use a blower and it'll speed things up a lot faster. Okay, now that I got the blower set up, drying the other side, I can go on painting this side, applying another thick coat. The middle. And then now for the other side. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this one from the front so that you guys can see the coverage of this one when applying the next coat of paint. One more coat of paint after this one, and it should be done. That's what it looks like. Yeah, one more coat. I'm gonna have to get that one in the middle, and then a little bit more on the side over here. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna finish it off down the middle and then on the side over there, and when I turn it back on, it's gonna be done. Okay, so the side that really needed the paint was behind the output pipe. Hopefully that'll get everything, but I'm pretty sure that will. And then the rest of this side is still kind of drying, so I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit more with this blower, and should be good to go at any second. If you roll it and it's still wet, sometimes the roller peels back the paint because it's a smooth surface. So you gotta wait so that the paint will not get pulled off by the roller. Alright, this should be the last part of the video. I'm gonna paint the rest of what's missing, some paint over here. It actually looks good already, but I'm just gonna paint it anyway. Just to give it one more coat, make it a nicer, darker paint in the back of the tank. Go, time to check it out. So that's it. It's pretty dark. Tank is done. It would have been a lot faster if I wasn't doing the video, but that's what it looks like from behind. That's it. Thanks for watching.